At our Jesuit compound there, we had a huge 6,000-gallon water tank that crashed and went through the ceiling. And the Jesuits there, the Haitian Jesuits at one point, asked me if I would be able to get that down. Like, okay, sure, yeah. And then one evening I got a phone call from just out of the blue from Bill Keegan. He introduced himself to me on the phone and told me who he was. I had not heard of Heart 9/11, and he told me, you know, they'd like to come down and help if there's anything we could do. And I said, oh yeah, there's lots we can do. I hung up the phone and I called my sister back in the States because I didn't have internet. I said, would you please Google Heart 9/11 for me and tell me if they can do what they say they can do? And she called me back within 15 minutes and she said, oh, you want these guys.
Bill called us up and said, you know, Lavers, Local 79, demolition, this is right up your alley. You know, take a look at these pictures, and he had some video of it.
This is the number one priority, is to actually get this off the roof, repair the roof, and I guess ultimately get another water tank on top so that this novitiate goes back to operational.
They said they were going to get the tower removed within 3 days, within 3 days. And there's an old priest on there, Father Andre, he's in his 80s, and I said, they're going to do that in 3 days. He just burst out laughing. He said, no, they're not.
We went down there with the fact of removing this tank, sealing off the holes, repairing the cracks in the building, reshoring the building, and getting the water up and running again.
We were introduced to a bunch of local youths in the area.
They ranged in age from probably 14 or 15 up to 21, 22 years old, and they were willing to grab any tool that we would put in their hand. They just wanted to jump right in, and, you know, we had to slow them down.
They trained our students how to operate jackhammers, saws that will cut rebar. Even more importantly, they trained them in safety. They patched the hole in the roof, and they put new water tanks up. At the end of the week, there was no injuries. We did that whole job with not a scratch.
And we did this job in 3 days that could have taken a lot longer without the proper training and equipment.
We taught them a trade that they can now go on with. It brings support to them, it brings support to their family, and hopefully to the community.
Heart 9/11 is not just giving something away, they're empowering people and training students to do that. You give someone a fish, you feed them for the day. You teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. Those students have learned and are still working, and they're still working in demolition and reparation of buildings to this day.